The purpose of this video tutorial is to demonstrate how to make a slideshow using the program SoThink Easy. Our slideshow will include a button, some text slides, and also some photo slides, and we will have a musical soundtrack to accompany it. So I opened up a new SoThink Easy file, and I'm going to go ahead and start by modifying my background color. The default frame rate for the movie is set to 24 frames per second. I like 30, it's a little bit easier to work with, so I'll change that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a second slide here. Now, I want to have a total of 5 slides that move, and the original slide, which is going to be our button. So let me first figure out how many frames my movie is going to be. If I want my slideshow to be 30 seconds, I've got 30 frames per second multiplied by 30 seconds for a total of 900 frames. To figure out how many frames each slide needs to play for, I need to divide my 900 frames by the 5 slides that I want to move, and that comes out to 180 frames per slide. So with Scene 2 selected here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my specified total frames, and I'm going to make that 180. Now when I go ahead and I duplicate this scene, that 180 frames will carry through to the rest of the slides. You can have different counts for each slide. I like to have a slideshow that moves consistently at a certain pace through all the slides. So I've got a total number of 6 slides now. Let's go ahead and add the button to the first slide. I did a search for button on the right hand side of the screen here, and when I find the one I like, I go ahead and I click it and drag it into my field here. I'll change the text. I'm just going to make this a play button. And I like to remove the sounds, and I do that by having the button selected, clicking the Advanced tab, and on the Sound tab here, I'm going to go ahead and remove both sounds. So the trick of this now with the button, or the key, is that we want to make it so that when someone clicks this button, the slideshow will actually play. The default, though, when you have this type of file, is for it to just start playing automatically. So we need to actually override that as the default standard. And we do that by setting the action to stop for that first scene. So I've got my scene selected here, and on the Scene tab, there's this Action button. And the Action button, I want to have the action where when you enter the scene will stop. And then the other key is that when this button is released, it goes to Scene 2. Now let's go ahead and preview our file to see if that works like we want it to. Sure enough, I click the button and it advances to one of the blank screens. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish off our slideshow here. I'm going to add some text. The project sample for this multimedia project is a project on the earthquake in Haiti from January 2010. So I'm going to make a short slideshow that pertains to that. I'm going to add some images. Now with images you can import them and scale them to whatever size you want. I like to import them originally as the original size of the file, and then use the percentage sign down at the bottom there to scale it. And you'll want to scale it to whatever size is going to meet the needs of the content you have on the page. Since I just have images, I can try to maximize the size of the image on the slide. And then the last slide that I want to create is a credits page. So after I've got all my slides, the next thing I'm going to do is add my soundtrack. So I add my soundtrack on the Movie tab, using the folder to navigate to the music that I want to add. And you'll remember that we made it so that someone actually has to push the play button in order for the video to start playing. So I'd like to make sure that the music doesn't start until the slideshow, the 5 slides that are going to be doing the moving, are actually playing. So rather than having it start on scene 1, I'm going to have it start on scene 2. And let's go ahead and preview and see if it works like we want it to. Go ahead. Oh. Sure enough, I had to push play. I can hear the music. So what's going to happen is it's going to get to the end of the slideshow. The last text slide will display. And when that text slide has ran for its specified number of 180 frames, it will go back to the beginning and the slideshow will stop until someone pushes play again. The next step will be to export your file and to then import that into your wiki space. Hopefully you found this tutorial to be helpful. Thank you for watching.